Hey guys, it's Kelly. Today we're going to be reading some Reddit stories. I've done this before in videos, but yeah, I figured do some more because I enjoy Reddit. I mean, I don't go on it as much. I usually listen to them on TikTok or Instagram. You know, the like Am I the Asshole stories and stuff. So yeah, I don't know how many we're going to read. We're just going to kind of go with the flow, see how long each story takes. And I really don't have any pre-picked. I know a lot of people like pre-pick the stuff they're going to read, but I was just scrolling through the app and it's the one that popped up on my home page or whatever it's called on Reddit. I don't know. I'm not really like an expert on Reddit, but yeah, so this one, we're just going to get right into it and we'll see how it goes. Am I the asshole for admitting within a group of other women that I hate being a mom? Now, from the title, I would say, I don't know. You know, sometimes just for a title could be like yes or no, and then you read it and you might change your mind, might not. This one, I don't know. Kind of like, I don't know how I feel. I think it's kind of weird to say that. But, I mean, you know, I know, you know, a lot of mothers go through their struggles and postpartum and stuff, so who knows. It's too soon to judge. Let's just get right into it. I know it's taboo, but if I could go back in time, I would not choose being a mom. As for why, I chose to have 3 kids when I obviously don't enjoy it. All I can say is that I wasn't strong enough to resist all the pressure. Pressure to give my mom grandkids, to give them siblings, to give a son, to do what society expects, all of it. I guess I'm weak. I've done the best that I can do. Sorry, I'm not the best at reading out loud, guys, so bear with me. But just from this first like little paragraph, yes, you are the asshole. I mean, you make an excuse saying pressure. Who cares? It's not these other people's lives. It's your life. No, you make the choices. Don't let other people pressure you, because you know what you did by this? By you having kids when you didn't want to, you're hurting your children. You're giving your children issues that they're going to end up needing therapy for, which is not right to do. But I digress. Let's continue. Just not hopeful about this one. I feel like it's just going to get worse, but who knows. Then like in all like capital letters, yes, I have been to therapy for this. No, it didn't change how I felt. Just change how I handle things. My husband is amazing, involved dad, so this has nothing to do with any of that. But of course he gets to be a dad in the family, and I'm the mom. Well, I was with a bunch of other moms working on back to school nights things, and of course everyone's venting a little. Lots of jokes eventually. I said something to the tune of, if I could go back in time and do it all over again, I wouldn't. I'd move to New York City and do something else. It went over like a lead balloon. I mean, I don't know, saying that in front of like a bunch of moms may not be the best thing. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. But a few moms were quick to jump in with, but it's all worth it in the end, isn't it? I said, I don't know, not really. I feel like I wasted my entire life and that I had a chance to be someone or do something, and in the end, all I am is a mom. Again, lead balloon, things got awkward and a few women moved away from me. I stopped talking. The thing is, like, when you have kids, you're still your own person. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not just a mom, you're not just a dad. You still can have your own life, you know what I mean? Yes, it might be harder and difficult and things are going to be different, but your life doesn't have to just be over because you have kids, you know. People think that, and yeah, like I say, it's going to be challenging. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but no, people have to start thinking that, you know. You have the power to choose how things go in your life, you know what I mean? Let's see. One pulled me aside as we were leaving and told me that I should be careful about what I say and that it put a damper on the evening. She said she was sorry, I'm going through a rough time, but it wasn't okay to talk like that, and that was something for me to talk about with the therapist. I said, okay, I can be honest in this group, I just won't come. If I can't be honest in this group, I just won't come. She quickly said, no, we still want you to help. And I said, but if you want me to shut up and do it. She didn't say anything, just made her mouth in a flat line and said, have a good night. I feel like out of corner my like iPad flickered. I don't know. I do kind of agree with that woman, like especially in a group of moms, that's probably not the best thing to say. Like I understand you're venting, but I feel like sometimes you're venting, you gotta kind of, it's a time and place type of situation. Like when you're venting about certain things, you have to know your audience. You know what I mean? When it comes to venting, like yeah, for your significant other, whoever you're close with, you should be able to vent to about anything. But you also have to keep in mind of the person you're venting to, because, you know, they can be going through struggles too, so maybe you venting to them about a certain situation can be kind of hurtful for them. You know what I mean? So I just think when it comes to this type of situation, especially with how OP feels, I feel like there is a time and place and, like, certain people you can vent to. And, you know, I think a therapist is a great thing. I know a lot of people, you know, don't really care for therapy. You might be against it. But I'm telling you guys, therapy is a great thing. It does help. But the thing with therapy is, like, you have to want it to help. You know what I mean? You have to want the help, because therapy, it's not like an instant fix. Like, you have to do the work. All therapy does, it gives you the tools to help yourself. You know what I mean? It doesn't fix you. It just gives you the tools to help you, so you're able to cope with things and able to, not necessarily fix yourself, but just deal with things, like deal with your anxiety or PTSD, depression, whatever it is you're struggling with. You know what I mean? So therapy is a great tool. You know, if you're having any sort of struggles, you know, therapy can really help. You know, especially when you have a good therapist too. Because sometimes, you know what? You may first see a therapist and you just may not connect or vibe well, so you have to go to another one, and that's okay. You know, not every single therapist you're going to connect with. That's the thing too. You have to make sure it's not just you have to want it to work, but you also have to make sure you like your therapist and that you and your therapist kind of vibe well, if that makes sense. Well, we are supposed to go finish setting something up for the back to school night. I suck at reading, I'm sorry. And I just didn't go. They called me and asked where I was, and I said I made them so uncomfortable that they could find someone else to get free labor from. This woman who called said I needed to do was just put on a better attitude when I'm there. I said I'm not a fucking cheerleader. I'm not going to put on a whole song and dance just to glue some fucking streamers to the rafters. She said I was being an asshole about this, and I said thanks for the input and hung up. I mean, that was kind of asshole-ish, you know what I mean? Like, and like, that's the thing to do. It's like, why, you know, about being negative, putting the damper on things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Again, time and place. And I feel like you're kind of just getting so defensive too. Like, that's the thing with people. Like, you don't always have to be so defensive about things. You know what I mean? I just hate all this phony, fake bullshit, and I'm sick of it. I already have to fake excitement and happiness with my kids all the time, and I think should be able to be real around other moms who get it. Well, lay it on me. Am I the one that's in the wrong? I definitely think you're in the wrong. I do understand your style. You should be able to vent. And I do agree. You should be able to have a safe place to vent to. But again, I feel like venting about how you hate being a mother to other moms is not the smartest thing to do. You know what I mean? But to each their own. Like I said, I think therapy is important for you to do. I know you did say in the beginning you tried therapy and change how you feel. But it could help you cope a little bit. Because I don't think you realize this, but your kids can, you know, kids are smarter than you think. They can probably pick up you don't care for them too much. You know what I mean? You could try and hide, but kids are not, you know, kids are smarter than we give them credit for. You know what I mean? I just hope your kids never find out about how you feel, about how you wish you can go back in time and change, you know, not be a mom, because that can really hurt them and again give them issues and damage. You know what I mean? I mean, it sounds like you do try your best and you're not trying to hurt your kids, but you are hurting your kids. So, let's just look at comments. Yes, you're the asshole. These aren't your BFFs, so women working at parents' not your kids' school. They don't owe you support or space to vent about your choices that you made. And exactly, the choices that you make, and you're making excuses in the beginning saying like, oh, the pressure. You're an adult woman. You gotta take responsibility for your actions. You made the choice to. You could have said no. You know, no one can force you to do anything at the end of the day. Unless someone's holding a gun to your head, you can't be forced to do anything. You know what I mean? It takes two to tangle. I feel like, yeah, this person, I feel like OP is treating this like a support troop, and that's why not. Exactly, too. It's a mom's, you know, but it's not like you guys are having dinner together, drinks together. You're literally doing, you know, setting up for a school function. It's really not really the place to vent either. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if it was more like you know, you're getting together as friends and kind of just chit-chatting, then I can kind of understand the venting. But, again, time and place. Yeah, it's not that her feelings are invalid. It's just the timing and audience were off. A school event isn't the place to unpack regrets or vent about motherhood. I've made many mistakes. I've made many mistakes in life. I was my children. Mary, we are voting on Kool-Aid. Oh, that's funny. And that one comment saying, not that her feelings are unfair. I mean, I get, like, you know, I get it. You know, like, I don't have kids, but I know it's not easiest to have kids to raise kids. You know, I do understand that, you know. I don't know. As long as, I guess, like, as long as she doesn't say this to her kids, you know, it's okay, I guess. I don't know. It's optional. The OP doesn't have to volunteer if they feel like they're just a mom. It seems like OP is in prison they created. If they have time to volunteer something they enjoy. I don't feel like just a mom because I cultivate time to pursue interests apart from my kids. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's like actual support groups for moms out there that OP could do, you know? I don't know. I think, yeah, all these real conversations that should not be had at PTA meetings. You should normalize the mom struggle, but at the appropriate venue, yeah. You know, moms do struggle, you know? I get that, but... You know, I mean, like, you know... I'm glad all the comments are on the same page saying she's the asshole. So, yeah. I'm actually going to be commenting on this myself. Saying basically what I was saying to you guys. Like, you're the asshole, you know, time and place. And that wasn't the place. You know, like I said, I don't go on Reddit much, but when I have, sometimes I do kind of type out comments. I have uploaded some stuff on Reddit, some like paranormal stuff. You know, it's kind of, that's just the thing that I don't like about Reddit. I just feel like it's so hard to like upload your stuff on there, because like so many of the forums or whatever, like especially in paranormal, have so many rules and regulations. Like, you know, I want to upload some video clips and stuff, and it's just so hard to be able to do it. Then, you know, a lot of times, like last time I tried to upload something on a paranormal thing, it was like the Paranormal Encounters, I believe it's called. And it was like a story about how I uploaded a story about how my ID went missing. Or like, no, not went missing, but how I found it in a driveway. And it said like they had to review it. And like if after like, I think it was 6 hours, you can message them. So I messaged them after 6 hours. Then they messaged me back saying to look at whatever. Still haven't heard anything about that, so I don't know. It's just annoying. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, with that one, I definitely, guys, you have to know time and place. Like when you, with certain things, you know, that's all I can like say is time and place. That's the biggest thing. And I feel like that's a lot of the issues, you know, with people. Like they don't understand time and place, so they say things, do things, and then it turns into a big, you know, to do. But yeah, OP definitely needs to stay OP. Steffi has a lot of issues and feelings inside she needs to work out. So I feel like if she doesn't work them out, it's gonna, you know, blow up, and it's, you know, ultimately she's gonna end up hurting her kids, you know. So, I don't know. Well, let's see. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because, yeah. Oh, well, like the stuff about the next Conjuring movie, guys. Oh, the one. Well, if you guys didn't know, new Conjuring's come out this Friday. I saw on TikTok that, like, I'm assuming, I know a lot of people think it's a PR stunt, probably is, but that they're freaking blessing people the whole world before they watch the movie. I also saw that this is the case that made the Warrens stop, like, doing the investigations, I guess. And also, I saw the actors that played Lorraine Warren in these movies, she would have, like, these random bruises apparent on her when she was shooting for it. I mean, this is not the first movie set that's cursed, especially in horror movie. Like, look at Poltergeist. They say that's cursed because, like, the little girl died from that. The older sister got murdered by her boyfriend. The one of the Indian people from the movies that play the Indian guy, Native American, I should say, died. Because they say they used real skeletons for, like, it was just a lot of fucked up shit for that movie. Not that movie, but an Annabelle movie, 2 other Conjuring movies. There was one movie, was it Annabelle? Because there was I believe it was the same actress, too, that played Lorraine in Conjuring. One of those movies that, like, she was on a computer, like, there was, like, 3 scratch marks that appeared on her computer, if that makes sense. I don't know. I've watched YouTube videos that are, like, cursed movie sets. Like, some of it's fucked, guys. You guys should look into that. You know, again, I can make a video talking about that if you're interested. But, yeah. I don't know. No, we're just going to end it there because this video is long enough. Actually, you know what? We're going to do one more. Because this one is about, I'm tired of my autistic son being left out. This is not like, am I the asshole? Just, I don't know. Oh, I mean, it does say, you know, r/AITH. So, am I the asshole, I guess? Or am I don't know what that stands for. Not mine. But I figured out I'm autistic, as most of you know, who's been watching me for a while, so why not? Let's read a nice, well, I was going to say a nice autistic story, but it's not really nice, is it? going to try and make this as short as possible, as it's happening right now again, and I need advice. I have a 13-year-old son, and my boyfriend has 2 sons who visit regularly. They all are close in age, starting with my son at 13, then his two are 14 and 15. Constantly, my boyfriend will go outside with his sons and leave my son in the house. They are outside riding 4-wheels and go-karts, throwing the ball around and whatever, just hanging out as boys do. I'm not a boy and interested in doing none of those things. I've mentioned him every time it happens, and he acts like he has no idea my son is inside. My son will not just go outside without someone asking him to come and fuck my phone. And so instead, he paces the doorway and watches out the window. Every time I have caught this happening, my heart breaks. I end up taking my son out to do something fun for him, and then my boyfriend gets angry that I went out without him and his kids. I'm tired of this happening and really want them to understand how hurtful it is. I was thinking of going to get my son a fun activity for the house, but only letting him participate. I feel like his sons are almost as guilty because they are aware that my son is left in the house and left out, but they never stop to try and include him. So I feel like when you're having fun without my son, it was all good, but now that he was having fun, you want to play with him, but no, go back to doing what you were without him. He's the only one who is playing insert fun activity problem. As I know that is petty and I feel bad, but I don't know how else to make everyone else see how wrong what they do is. Mind you, okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. My fucking stupid storage thing went off, so let's just get this done. Problem is, I know that it's petty and I feel bad. I don't know how else to make everyone else see how wrong what they do is. Mind you, we are working on years of trying to do things the nice way, but watching him stare out the window is just hurtful. Let me clarify. The reason I mentioned that those are things I am not interested in doing, not because I won't do them, it's to say on a random Saturday, that is not what you will find me doing. That is what they would be doing. I just can't understand why not include him in something you are already doing. You want me to come outside as well for his part, I'm all for it, but it isn't what happens. I wish I had more control over the situation, that it was my 4-wheeler or whatever, or that I had another sibling. Oh, hold on, guys, I'm gonna pause. I'm all for that, but that isn't what happens. I wish I had more control of the situation, that it was my 4-wheeler or whatever, or that I had another sibling to play with us. But I don't, and I'm sorry, he's 13, he's not really interested in playing catch with mom outside. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. He is my entire life. I have fought for him. So I think you should sit down with your husband, because maybe he's kind of worried because he's autistic. Like, maybe he doesn't think he would be into that stuff. I definitely think you all should sit down with the kids and all have, like, a family discussion about it. You know, and, like, I don't think it's, like, necessarily a bad thing he wants to spend time with just his kids. But I think there can be times where he includes your kid as well. But I think it's okay for him to have time with just his kids, because he obviously doesn't have his kids all the time. But he also needs to find activities to include your son in as well. You know, have to find, like, what's it called? Like, compromise type thing. And, you know, because, again, you know what I mean? Like, it's not bad when parents want to spend time with just their kids. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know, sometimes include the stepkids as well. But, you know, I definitely think, yes, you need to talk to your husband. I wouldn't blame his sons, though, because they probably just followed their father's lead. You know what I mean? This is definitely more on the father than the 2 kids. Yes, they are older, because how old did you say they were? 14 and 15, but again, they probably just follow their father's lead, so I wouldn't put too much blame on the kids. I think it's good you found your son a fun activity. You know, that you take your son to do things as well. But I think, you know, again, you guys can do things individually, like with your kids individually, then come together and do it with all the kids, you know? I think it needs to be kind of compromised and, like, I can't think of the word, but you guys know what I'm saying. But it is kind of messed up to exclude him. Again, maybe they're just worried because of his autism. I do think you should, like I said, I think it would be very helpful to sit down with all the kids and have a discussion, you know, because, like, I'm assuming your kid's, like, high functioning, because how you describe him and stuff. But, no, it does suck to be excluded from things, but, like I said, have a sit-down conversation with them all. Because that's not right for him to be excluding your son. You know, I mean, it's one thing if he asks your son and your son says no. But, like, the fact that it doesn't even offer or ask, you know, and even if your son is wanting to do the activity, you can still find an activity to do with, you know, your son as well. But I think you just have to remember one thing, that the problem is not him wanting to do things with just his kids. Because that's okay to do. It's just that he never asked your son to do anything. Well, this person said, if you've been watching it happen for years, you're part of the problem. What's wrong with confronting your boyfriend and his son together? Why would you tolerate this for years? If I confront him, nothing happened, they'd be gone. Your son deserves better. He also deserves a mom who sticks up for him. That's just sad. It says, why doesn't she go outside with her son to throw a ball or ride ATVs? I mean, Sheila, you said that. Why, but... Says, because I'm not born, I'm not interested in doing other things. I don't want to put in any extra effort for my kid, including talking to my loser boyfriend, doing something outside my comfort zone. I mean, she literally did say she'd do anything for her son. You know, I feel like Reddit could be kind of brutal at times, not gonna lie. I mean, I kind of agree that she definitely needs to be doing more, especially, like I said, talking to her boyfriend, but, you know, you have the same in recently in Minecraft, too. I hate it so much, but my autistic son likes it, and it's so fun. So I fucking play it because connection with him is so much important than how much the game sucks. How can you think Minecraft sucks? Number one, I love Minecraft. But yeah, you know, I mean, I always liked that in school, always excluded, like, especially, I always hated partner projects because kids would always exclude me. Obviously not for being autistic, because I was just diagnosed with that last year, but, you know, I was always quiet, too. Like, I never did anything to anyone, I never talked to anyone, so maybe they thought I was weird because I was quiet, which I don't understand that. Just because a kid may seem quiet doesn't make them weird. Go up to them, talk to them, you know. The quiet kids are the ones who need friends, you know. It's not that they don't want friends, they just don't know how to start a conversation or talk, you know. Us quiet kids, us introverts, we're not bad people. You know, we're not weird because we're quiet. You know, we just are not good with conversation, especially me. I'm not good with starting conversations or holding a conversation, per se. You know, this is like my mom or sister or someone who I know and who I'm close to, especially when I first meet someone. Like, I say a few words and that's it, because that's just how I am. You know? But, I don't know, I'm not seeing much from OP. Like, sometimes you would see, like, the OP respond to some of the comments. I've seen that in posts before. And if you don't know, OP means original poster. So it's basically the person who posts a story. They're called OP. But, I mean, I don't know. It's a sad situation. I hope it gets resolved. Yeah. Anyways, that's it, guys. Those are the two stories that I read. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know your opinions on these stories. I would love to hear them. And if you want more stories like this, let me know. Again, I'm sorry I suck at reading shit. I stumble a lot. I am sorry. But, excuse me. I love you very much so much. Please follow me on my socials. Follow damn it, in my description. Sorry. Guys, please subscribe to me. Please like. And please comment. And I will see you randomers in the next video. Peace.